Look, up there. It's a bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's the gasping effort of a pro wrestler turned movie star staking it all on his pet project that's quickly fizzling into obscurity. We watched Superman and Black Adam.
Ah, the French champagne.
Champagne!
The schlocky movie from this week may be the schlockiest film we've ever seen on this podcast.
I'm Mr. Pink.
Sis Blue.
So Miranda hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Those men's children are all identical clones of Adolf Hitler.
Once they were men, now they are land crabs.
Amanda Bynes is a national treasure.
There's like a bunch of other shit that happens in Driven.
Is there?
Secret Nazis.
Yeah.
Secret Nazis.
Hey, Daddy lost his eagle.
I hope
So-
no one from my family listens to this podcast.
The Citizen Kane of the week is...
Hey everyone, welcome back.
I was laughing.
It's the podcast. I wanted that.
You wanted me to
I wanted
laugh through your intro?
laughter. I wanted to inspire laughter right away. Citizen Kane versus Dan, participate.
There we go.
That's
So
okay,
hot,
that was
Mike.
actually
Should we start again?
no. Welcome. This is Citizen Kane versus. This is a podcast still until we get picked up to be a TV series.
Apple TV or something. Yeah.
Just saying,
Ooh.
I think it'd be a
Bell
good
Media.
series.
Bell Media.
Notorious Apple company Bell.
Yeah. Either or.
Whatever. But this is a podcast where we take a movie that's considered to be more of a classic and we pair it against a somewhat similar or something movie that is considered to be more on the schlocky side. And we ask ourselves honestly, which is better? My name is Jack Rennie, and I'm joined by my two friends, one
Sharon Jacqueline.
and the other.
Daniel Benoit.
Whoa, that's...
That's so low. That was my impersonation of Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
And
as-
actually, I got that.
Did you?
I truly actually
Nice.
did. Can you be a bit more blank-faced when you say it again? You kind of had like an intense look on your face. Try again.
Okay, hold on.
And the other.
Daniel Benoit.
Yeah, that's better.
Hey, that's Black Adam.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that, actually.
Yeah, if I
guys.
could have like a little bit of a sigh underneath it, that's good.
He really doesn't want to be there.
So once again, Dan, you
He desperately wants to be there, though. That's the weird
I
thing.
know, right?
I know, it's like his baby.
Yeah.
And he just like didn't prepare for it at all, except by going to the gym every day for the last 40 years. Or
How else
whatever.
do you get that neck?
Extra neck on the costume.
So much
too.
neck.
So much neck.
Isn't it weird to see someone's neck overflow onto their shoulders?
Quite odd.
And down the back of his neck in that one shot.
Hey, can you stop body shaming Dwayne The Rock Johnson? He's been through enough. He had COVID. His family had COVID.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
So,
true.
so Dan,
Yeah.
once again, because you're the one who spearheaded this choice,
Mm-hmm.
what's the impetus again for this week?
It's my undying love for Dwayne The Rock Johnson. No, it's been a few things. One is definitely I wanted to get something superhero-y on the podcast. I know we had Spider-Man, but I wanted like a comic book v comic book showdown. Huge pro wrestling fan growing up, so I wanted to get something with The Rock in there. This is his big fucking. This is his like big time, supposed to be his like to cement his legacy movie. But I also wanted to get a pairing that kind of showed how far the superhero genre has come. Not necessarily in quality, but just like how it's evolved over time.
How the narrative structure has changed.
Yeah, and I think that this pairing actually did that quite successfully.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and just to like timing wise, the Black Adam is like the latest superhero movie. I would say it really is the newest thing out there. That isn't like a sequel or like it really is the new thing.
It is.
Wakanda Forever is
And-
out there, but
Yeah, but it's a sequel to Black Panther.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
gotcha,
Like
gotcha,
it's
gotcha.
like a
Yeah, Black Adam is its own new set of characters that like
Yeah.
most people don't know about.
there's a whole society that I'd never heard of
There's
or
a
given a
whole
shit
society.
about.
It's also
And still
like
don't.
Yeah.
the most superhero movie maybe that I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, I think so. And Superman, the original, is like, there was like some super stuff that happened before this. You know, there was like the early Batman show that predates this, right? And
Yeah,
like,
and the Spider-Man cartoon.
and yeah, but like this is the film that like set us on the trajectory to where we are now.
It's the first one that uses, to use the word that all the articles I read had, verisimilitude. Verisimilitude
Yeah.
to place the action of the superhero in a world that is not unlike our own, in order to create the idea of familiarity with what's going on. Unlike Batman, which was a cartoony like diddly diddly doo, and everyone's dancing with the villains and it's all kooky. This was
It's like
actually like
camp.
it's a newspaper and it's in New York and
Yeah.
Right. That is something that I think that the MCU has done exceptionally well. I think that's one of the reasons why they're so popular, is because they have really kind of nailed down the formula of placing the superhero characters in what is essentially the real world.
Yeah.
Well, when they made
what does that
Doctor
look like?
Strange work, it was like, oh, they can do anything.
Yeah.
Like they can make it all feel, because that's a dangerous one.
Totally.
Aliens is one thing. Just general superpowers is
But bending
is one
the
thing.
space-time continuum.
But
is-
like straight up magic
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
straight up just like, no, it's magic.
But the
That's
DCEU does not do that at all. At least not in any. I mean, maybe with the Joker,
well,
which
I
is
mean,
kind
all
of
the
like.
Christopher Nolan films are
I guess so.
drenched in the
Yeah, but
quote-unquote verisimilitude.
but they aren't really part of the DCEU. Like DC movies have done it. Absolutely, the Dark Knight trilogy.
They're not part of the current incarnation of the imaginings. Yeah.
Yeah, everything they've put out so far is kind of very comic. Maybe Suicide Squad. I mean, no, Suicide Squad's
that was-
way over
no,
the
that
top.
was like-
the DC EU, is that what we call it?
Extended universe. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
extended now. But
Yeah.
it's drenched in what they're trying to make realism. It's like like problematically lodged in realism.
Well, they want it to be gritty and dark.
Yeah.
But they want it to be action figures being smashed together.
Yeah.
So they don't want it to feel like real life. They want it to feel like
Like a
Greek
comic-
gods.
But they,
Yes.
but they want
Actually,
the
literally
damage
in
caused
Wonder
by
Woman.
that to be real. They don't
Yeah,
want
that's what I
Greek
mean.
gods just like bouncing off each other and everything is fine, which is what we would get in earlier things. They want two Greek gods going against each other in this real world, and downtown in Toronto is
but-
eviscerated off the face of the earth.
Yeah, but that's why I would choose different words, though, which is that I don't think real is the word. That's why I said they want it to be gritty and dark,
Right.
but not necessarily real.
Just the
I
damage
think
is
I think if you were to talk to anyone at those studios right now and it wasn't realistic, they go, "Yeah, it's the fucking point. Like it's it's a video game that you don't
Yeah.
get to play."
And if you've seen Justice League, especially
I have not.
the Snyder cut, I mean,
Thankfully,
like
no.
Yeah.
it is anything but grounded in any kind of
Yeah, 'cause
reality.
there's like the Geonosis bug aliens from Star Wars are there or something.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
there's
know.
like
At
there's
a
like
certain
real
point.
demons and stuff, and
Yeah, it's just like a lot of fucking magic and supernatural
Yeah.
fucking shit, and like,
But what if magic were real, man?
damn.
so yeah, I think it is a good pairing in that regard. I was looking forward to it, and I think you also mentioned that they're also, as was teased, spoiler at the end, that Superman versus Black Adam is like this. Apparently, I'd never even heard of this. I never even heard of Black Adam before.
Yeah,
but
so-
like a historic rivalry.
So as far as I know, Black Adam, Shazam, and Superman are kind of like the holy trinity of all-powerful heroes in the DC, or all-powerful characters in the DC.
Because they're literally
universe.
all gods.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, like Superman has the powers of a god, but is an alien. But the other two, like, literally get their powers from gods and demons, right? So I think that Black Adam is the main antagonist in Shazam, and funnily enough, was actually supposed to make his debut as a character in the Shazam movie.
Oh.
And Dwayne Johnson was like, no, I
get
get a standalone
yeah.
film.
Fair
So I guess so. So maybe at some point they will kind of find their way into those movies.
It seems like they're now, like after that, it seems.
Well, they're
like that's the
absolutely in the
plan.
same universe for sure. But as I understand it, Black Adam in the comics is not a hero. He is actually one of the main villains, and like one of like the most powerful villains that Superman ever faces. And it's like a storied rivalry or something like that. I don't know too much about it, but
as we were told a few times, I think, just a couple times, he's not a hero. I don't know if you caught that in the movie. It's subtle.
He's not a hero, Daniel.
But there's like a little moment.
I'm
right?
glad. You know what? I'm glad that you're kind of clarifying that, because I found when the credits were rolling, I was still kind of wondering. But was he the hero? Is he a hero?
Yeah. Because
Yes.
you might have been not caught it like the 4 or 5 times that he said he's not a hero, but then also lady who brought him back to life also told other people a couple times that he is not a hero.
Is that the blonde lady?
No, I'm
The
trying to forget
mom.
her. No, like the mom that said,
Oh
said
right,
the words.
yeah, right.
What do you mean the blonde lady?
The blonde lady who.
We'll get to her.
Oh right. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know you're not a hero, but you can be.
Yeah, and telling other people like he's not a hero. He's our champion. Kandak.
Well, I think it's time for some intros.
I think so. So, just in case anyone is lost, if they're not familiar with either Superman, which would be difficult, I guess, but it's possible.
I think there's a lot of people who. I mean, I had no idea what the first Superman was about until I saw it today.
It's true. And will it be clear after this intro? Maybe not,
Hopefully, though.
but maybe a little. As well as Black Adam. So yeah, here are the intros.
In the red corner, representing the classics. When the planet Krypton is set to explode, Marlon Brando, as himself, sends his only son galaxies away to planet Earth. That naked little alien kiddo grows up to be Clark Kent, aka Superman, the all-powerful hero and protector of truth, justice, and the American way. But watch out! Lex Luthor, super dumb, super genius, supervillain, means to take out Superman, as well as the entire western coastline. Will this movie have stakes? No. Coming in at 143 minutes, starring Christopher Reeve and Gene Hackman, Superman! And in the blue corner, representing the schlock. When a rebel on the quest for a magic crown gets cornered by members of the Intergang, she reads some ancient words and Shazam! Black Adam appears. This all-powerful champion of Kandak is not a hero, so Amanda Waller sends the Stay Alive Squad, Dr. Magic, Aldous Hawkman, and the rest, before eventually deciding to team up and punch the devil in the face. Will this movie have stakes? Also no. Coming in at 125 minutes, starring Dwayne Johnson and Sarah Shahi. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Black Adam.
Black Adam.
That's gonna make sense to nobody except for us
It's the theme song that should have been.
Yeah.
and the 14 other people in the world who have seen Black Adam. Maybe
I mean, there were 10 of them in our theater today.
that's true. I think
But
actually
two
quite
were
a few.
asleep.
Two were asleep.
Very asleep.
Like
Yeah.
unconscious, I think is a better word than asleep.
Yeah, the one guy was out cold.
Yeah.
Like when I went to wake him up, I fucking full on like shoved his leg. Like it should have woken up any
Yeah.
His
You-
buddy was up like a light.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like looked a little bit alarmed.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Anyways.
fully accosted that child
Oh, what?
in the theater. Daniel Benoit. Not kidding. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah,
let's
I'm
talk
dying
about
to.
these movie films. So let's begin with our first round, which is story. Good. Bing bing. So because we're fresh off the heels of we just saw Black Adam right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like honestly, not bad.
Did you say what? There is a story.
There's a story.
There is
It's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear and like actually
It's
pretty
good.
pretty good.
It's,
pretty good.
it's not bad.
I had a good time watching this film.
It's like
Yeah.
I had a really good time.
I had a
Yeah.
pretty fine time.
I mean, there are a lot of flaws in Black Adam, but the story is really interesting, and the history of the character and the motivation of the character, Like, I wish that maybe it was performed by somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. But the story itself is actually one of the more interesting I've seen in any comic book movie.
Well, because it wasn't a total rehash of the same story again and again that Marvel's been doing, I actually felt a bit interested in this genre again.
Yeah.
Just because it was slightly different.
Especially like, yeah, you heroes only show up when there's some like ulterior motive for you to show up. And no, we have our hero. You don't like him, but that's cool. But like, we kind of like him, and so we're gonna stick with him. That's cool. You can go home.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
You've never been here.
That was interesting. It wasn't executed well.
No, and that's the problem is that the kernel, the premise was so promising, and then DC got their grubby little fucking hands all over it.
You can tell the scenes where the studio clearly just came in and had someone rewrite large swathes of text. You can tell when it happens, and then when people start acting like human beings for split seconds, you're like, oh, there's the script. Oh, I see it. Oh, it's gone.
See, I don't know though.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's if there's just moments of really strong acting as opposed
There's
to
a few moments of that. But
Yeah.
it's also, the writing is committee. It's
For sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
And some of the committee members are writers, and what they contributed are hacked to bits by the other committee members who are not writers.
I think The Rock probably had a hand in misshaping. I mean, it's his production company.
He's a producer, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's been at like the forefront of like crafting the direction or the trajectory of this film for like fucking 15 years or something. Like he's been gearing up for it forever. So, and I know at the very least that he was the driving force behind making it its own solo film. So I have to imagine he also has a large part to play in the depiction of the character.
He was like,
As
no,
it's
guys,
written.
just let me improv here. I've been hanging out with Kevin Hart a lot, and like, trust me,
He's taught me a lot.
my improv skills are
That
on
Kevin Hart
point.
is known for.
Yep. Can you imagine Kevin Hart was Black Adam?
I can imagine Kevin Hart being the child that Black Adam turns
I'm
into.
surprised Kevin Hart didn't have a cameo in this movie, to be honest.
That's true. Eh?
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, they have. He's been chirping The Rock on Instagram for a few months now about how he better get a role. I mean, not for a few months, but like leading up to the shooting of the film.
Yeah.
It was a thing where he was constantly harping on him to give him a fucking role. He was like, "We're best friends. What are you doing? This is bullshit. Of course I'm in the movie. Give me a part."
Come on, give me a part.
Yeah.
But so this movie has a really weird thing because I include writing in this, right? And
That-
this
yeah,
movie is
sounds
kind of
good.
written pretty poorly.
Yeah.
People don't often speak like people.
No.
But the story is like maybe not good, but it's okay. Like it's enough for me to engage with the movie.
That scene that I openly laughed at, where Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate.
Yep.
And
I
Who
didn't clock his
is
name.
Doctor Strange Light? Right? We
Yeah.
can acknowledge that,
Dr.
right?
Dr.
Like
Fate and Nighthawk, two of the stupidest named
Hawkman.
superheroes.
No, Hawkman.
Sorry,
Hawkman.
Dr. Fate and Hawkman. And Hawkman's a stand.
oh, why am I not getting Sean at all?
Oh, no.
Oh no! Like you just dropped off.
When?
Let me unplug you. I don't know. Can you speak now?
I'm speaking now. Do we got to pause?
Maybe. We'll be back right after this quick pause.
Oh.
Okay, and we're back. That was super strange, but I think that we are good to go. So I'm going to restart the timer. And Sean, as you were saying.
As I was saying, there is the one scene between Hawk Dude and
It's
Helmet
Hawkman.
Boy.
It's Hawkman.
Hawkman.
It's
Hawkman.
Hawkman.
Hawkman Boy and Helmet Guy.
Captain Hawk.
Captain Fake Dude. Where they speak exclusively in action movie cliches
Yeah, it's a cliche conversation.
for 4.5 minutes.
What's the plan? You're not gonna like it. I never do. Like it was just like,
Bad plan's better than no plan at all.
Oh my
That's where I
God.
laughed.
That's what the
I
movie
could
should have
go
been
back and laugh.
called,
and that's
actually.
like, So anyway, so it's like it's clunky, but like it's there. And then you have, I think we should jump to Superman.
The Superman. Yeah.
Which so I grew up watching this movie, and I went for Superman. I had a costume. I went to school, but 3 times, 3 years in a row.
Me too.
You wearing underwear?
It's funny that you say that because funny story. This is not going to be related to our story
More interesting
round
than
in
both
any
of
way.
the movies we watched.
In grade 2,
Yeah.
French class, it's Halloween.
Oui.
I'm dressed in a full body Superman suit.
Superman.
Superman.
Oui. Moi aussi.
Superman.
Superman.
Homme super. L'homme super.
2 things happened to me that day. 1, we're doing like a show and tell / like talent show for some reason in a French class. And at the time, I was kind of like, I don't know, way more into Michael Jackson than a 6-year-old should be.
Who isn't? Yeah.
Who isn't? So part of my show and tell or like talent show is I start showing off my Michael Jackson dance moves.
Okay.
Full on crotch grab and all.
Crotch grabs.
Crotch grabs.
Yeah.
Which the teacher was very upset about. So she reprimanded me real good for that, which I've never forgotten actually. So then later in the class, I have to really use the bathroom, but I'm so ashamed and I feel so like shitty and scared of the teacher now that I wait way too long to ask her to go to the bathroom, and I'm wearing a bodysuit.
Oh no.
So by the time that I finally ask her, it's way too late. I get all the way to the urinal in the bathroom and fucking piss the whole suit.
So I will say, if you had watched this movie, you would have had the idea to prevent that from happening by going to space and turning the Earth backwards to turn back time.
Okay, can we talk about what the fuck? Like,
I think Jack was finishing a point.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, I don't.
No, you were talking about.
You just watched this
it
movie a lot
bunch.
growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the end of that point was I don't remember obviously that the story was so incoherent.
Yeah.
And fucky. And I'm just gonna carry on with this. It's
Sure.
weird that this movie was actually filmed at the same time as the second movie. If you've heard this as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Nerd Writer who did actually a decent.
It's a really good.
It's a good episode. You should check out Nerd Writer on YouTube. And so anyway, that it was filmed at the same time, but they started going way over budget, and so a second director took the footage from the second movie and then filmed new footage. And the second movie is not Richard Donner who did this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, he got fired for just doing too much. So that's why they were able to set up Zod in this movie. That's why the fucking extended intro sequence to introduce Clark Kent is 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah. Oh,
before
yeah,
you even
it's like an
meet
hour
Christopher
film before.
Reeves.
Yeah.
Which I
Easy.
forgot it was that long.
So long, because I think when we're young, the younger Clark Kent is so good at being Christopher Reeve that the young mind kind of blurs the two together.
Yeah, I get. Yeah. And so then it just gets into like Lex Luthor barely appears until halfway through the movie, and then nothing he does makes any fucking sense.
No, he's poorly written.
He's poorly written, and for someone who states in the movie that he has a 200 IQ, like why bother Superman at all? Like his plot is to buy land.
Superman will stop the nukes.
Yeah, he has to keep Superman at bay while the nukes destroy the San Andreas Fault, right?
But like he wouldn't have known.
And Hoboken, New Jersey, or whatever.
Yeah, but like he wouldn't.
Hackensack.
Hackensack. Thank
Right.
you. H in New Jersay.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have known what. Well,
He
he
would have
wouldn't
known, but the missile's taking off. But
Sure, he would have,
instead,
because he would have the U.S. military would have been like, "My God, can no one save us?" And Superman's super hearing would have super told him to super save.
there'd
the
have been
day.
like a news report saying everyone get to shelter. Okay,
I
fine.
I didn't mind his reasoning for needing to suppress Superman. What I did mind was the complete lack of development of the character prior to us learning about his plan.
Mm-hmm.
I also really didn't understand how he was able to figure out that kryptonite would be Superman's one weakness.
Yeah, no, that's totally
It's
unexplained.
totally unexplained.
I didn't understand. Was it so? Well, he tries to explain it.
They lean heavily into the interview as being what the basis is for all their understanding of what Superman is.
Yeah.
But the interview, as we see, is just her getting super wet for him and him getting super hard, literally super hard for her.
But-
and then they fly through the sky and she talks a song at him.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't talk
talks
to
things a
him.
poem
It's an
in
inner
her brain.
monologue.
It was supposed to be a song.
It's supposed to be a song. Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard this as well.
Oh, that was supposed to be a
It was
song.
No, it
supposed to be a song,
truly
she
was
can't
supposed
sing.
to be a song, which is fucking crazy.
I would have loved to hear a song. But also, it was weird because in that interview, she already knows weird things about his powers that like people shouldn't know because they make it seem as though
It's like the next night.
Yeah, like he's
doesn't make
he's
sense.
only just appeared in the public. He
Yeah.
hasn't spoken to anybody else. But her
Also-
first
And
question
they're like,
is it true
they're
you
like,
can see through things?
Yeah, like it doesn't track.
Lead flower pots. If that was prevalent in the 70s, I understand why cancer rates are skyrocketing right now. That's all I can say about that scene.
Flower pots? I thought it was because her it's a lead flower. I thought it was at her
It was
dress.
the planter. It was the planter. No,
Yeah,
she
that was
wasn't
in
wearing
front.
lead.
Yeah,
I was
she was,
like,
it wasn't
what
a
the
lead
fuck?
dress.
What's in
She
her-
was standing in front of a lead planter.
What's in her negligee?
Yeah. Aaron has a lead candy bowl that I keep being like, can we get rid of this? It's not made of, but it's like lead lined or something.
Nice.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's for Superman.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take another second here anyway.
Yeah, we got it. We barely touched both films.
So
Does just having lead around, is that dangerous?
You have to ingest it.
Oh, okay. So I should stop eating pencils, is what you're saying.
That's
graphite.
That's graphite. You're fine. Like, don't, but like, you're not gonna immediately die, so you're fine.
Isn't there lead in pencils?
not
No,
anymore.
yeah.
I mean, I only eat old pencils.
Okay, yeah. Then
You're
yeah,
the antique pencil man.
Yeah.
Antique
that's
pencil
why
man.
that's why your fingernails keep falling off.
I'm pencil padre. I don't know.
I'll
so-
pencil you in.
yeah.
But then the whole sequence also on Krypton is like
Krypton.
pretty Krypton
As Marlon Brando said.
is pretty fucking stupid. And so they say that Earth is thousands of years behind us, and that seems, so then we kind of learn that's because it took thousands of years in Earth
But it
years.
didn't.
But it also didn't.
I think that's a poorly written, like that line was
It's
Yeah,
wrong
that-
or
clear.
spoken wrong.
I feel like the mistake happened in the Lex Luthor scene, not the Marlon Brando scene. The thousands, because that made sense to me in that the Earth would be rotating our sun a lot faster than Krypton rotated their sun, so therefore it would be thousands of our years compared to 3 or 4 of their years, right? That's how that would. That's
okay,
how they
but
explain
why
that.
doesn't he he ages 3 years in the journey?
Well, he's a fucking
Superman?
alien, man. I don't know.
Superman, yeah.
Yeah, he's like
and
3 or
and
4.
then continues to age at a normal rate. Well,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's all relative, right? I mean, scientifically speaking, you will age at the rate of whatever speed time is passing
Right.
wherever you are
But
in
the
the
dead
universe.
of space is not the time that it is on Krypton, and is
The
not
dead of space, I believe, would actually have less. It'd have
slower.
lower gravity, which
no,
would
it's faster.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of
I haven't
those.
Seen, I haven't seen the sequel to Inception.
I
recently,
forget.
so-
Interstellar.
Yeah.
I forget which one it is. I think higher. I think lower gravity means time passes faster. I don't know.
No, I think.
Either way, there were massive inconsistencies in the scientific explanations
Yeah,
of
so
this
that's
film.
weird. And then also too, just like the big jump, even just to being like meteors, like the chances that any piece of debris from that planet, at least 3 light years away,
That big, certainly the chances of something that big is
are like
minuscule.
beyond infinitesimal.
infinitesimal.
Let alone like a big old chunk in verisimilitude.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's just,
It's hard to believe it's a superhero
which
movie.
I get, but anyway, there's just like a surprising amount of like dumb nonsense in this movie, and it is kind of still rooted. This movie feels like it actually has more humanity in it.
For sure.
In the writing, like they really try. Like the whole first part
Yeah.
with young Clark Kent is like abundantly like, "Mom,
Yeah.
I have to go."
I will say
I knew this day would come.
Yeah, the one thing Man of Steel did better than Superman in the origin story is when Kevin Costner dies in the tornado, and Clark Kent literally does have the power in the immediate right there and then. He could save his dad, and he can't because it would show that he has all these powers to everyone around him. And that's actually something that affects his character, knowing that, like, in that there and then, he could have saved him. But in the one we watched, he just dies of a heart attack, which is like you can't stop that. Even Superman can't. Like,
Except we've shown that he can stop that.
Well, he didn't know he could turn back time by flying into space.
But I don't.
But he could have just moved fucking faster than he was.
Yeah, I could have stopped playing with that fucking dog.
Yeah.
But so this whole thing about him turning back time, but like,
Welcome to the
but like
20-minute round.
selectively turning back time, right? Like he went back far enough that the car was out of the crevice in the ground.
There must have been a split second where the rocket had been where the one nuke had been dealt with.
There's no way to explain it.
It's fucking weird. It's super weird.
Yeah,
and it makes zero sense.
Superman.
Well, what's frustrating is that they don't make any attempt to explain what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
You need one line of dialogue to say whatever. You can go back in time.
Lois, I made it in time. Even that's acceptable to me.
Look, I mean, and it's possible there was stuff that was cut out, right, because of the Richard Donner.
Well, not
drama.
the first one. The first one was released and made millions of dollars, and it was fine. And it was just the second one, and that they'd filmed most of with Richard Donner already.
Yeah. But like, and I think the implication that we're supposed to take from it is not that he's like, it's like the counter rotation of the Earth that moves back time. He's flying so fast that from our perspective as the movie viewer, the Earth is now moving the other way because he's moving through.
He's moving time.
He's moving so fast.
Itself.
I think he's going through it, and so we see the Earth counter rotate, and then
But then he
as in
flies-
like we're seeing like the
I
like
know.
No, because then he flies back the other way to make the Earth spin the right way again.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's bending time. It's stupid. Look,
I
it's
also feel like it's important to note that if his version or his way of turning back time is to rapidly reverse the rotation of the Earth, it would cause so many, like, countless natural disasters.
Catastrophic natural disasters.
Like,
It would
the
cause
world
so much
tidal waves,
more damage
bigger
than the nukes.
and it's just
Like
It's
irreversible.
beautiful.
yeah.
It's a
All the
beautiful
fault
movie.
lines on the Earth would
Yeah,
fucking
that's
shift
it.
in the opposite
There'd be
directions for the first
massive
time and
fucking
explode.
floods everywhere. Like it would be fucking.
All the volcanoes
It
go
would be
off.
chaos.
The atmosphere would fucking fly off the planet. Yeah, but it's really, and justify it however you want. It's just bad writing when literally the moment leading up to it is him not flying to her fast enough to get to her car while she's like dying in the sand. So he's like, I can't get there in time, and then literally the next second he flies around the globe twice in a second.
Yeah, but
It's
I
just stupid.
think that the idea is that he is now fueled by the pain of losing the woman he loves.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there definitely is not. There are a lot of weird inconsistencies and bad writing in Black Adam, but I don't think that there's anything as like egregious as the things you're talking about in Superman.
Well, this movie is still rooted in that history we were talking about. It's still the only world
Superman
it knows
is.
before this is the campy superhero action.
Right.
thing,
Right. Yeah.
So it's trying to get out of that, but it's also where it comes from. So it has a hard time shaking it entirely, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
So even how Lex Luthor is done, is pretty campy. That almost reads like an Adam West Batman villain at times. Like he's over the top in that way. And yeah, it's odd. Like the central story is clear enough. Superman grows up. Superman is here now.
Superman grows up till he's 18, then spends 12 years in the Fortress of Solitude,
Correct.
or is he traversing the galaxies?
No, I
He's
think
just in the Fortress of Solitude.
He's doing lessons.
Takes up seamstressing, and sews himself a suit.
It's part of this. It's an ancient tradition.
Part of Krypton education. And then he comes and gets a job at a local news outlet.
Good
with,
typer.
with zero credentials or history or any kind of government issued ID. I'm guessing because he's been absent for 12 years.
He's Superman. He can get what he wants.
I guess. But that also bothers me. The fact that there's no
Yeah. It's
him being gone for 12 years, like he's a functional member of society until he's 18 and then just vanishes and comes back.
He's been like practicing his alter ego the whole time. He's been like working on the characterization.
Well, I was gonna say there was like a 2-week acting intensive with Brando.
Yeah. He was
Let me
like,
tell you what I learned from Lee Strasberg.
No, son. More geeky, son. Son, my son. Look, there's a crystal over there that has a lot of info about how to kind of do a nerdy bit. Fix your glasses more. Stammer.
You should know. Everybody tells me our planet is pronounced Krypton, but I refuse.
I say Krypton.
I say Krypton.
Anywho.
Yeah, and just that whole sequence with Krypton was annoying. The the advanced civilization of boring weirdos.
Sure, but I don't know. If there was ever a movie that I'm gonna place myself in the shoes of people watching it in 1978, it's gonna be this one because it really is the benchmark for superhero films until like Iron Man.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's carry on.
Yeah, we're gonna end our 24-minute first round
needed to
with
be done.
a
It's 2020
break
Yeah.
and an ad from our sponsors. And we're back. Hopefully some ads played. If they didn't, sorry. And if they did, hopefully they were in English.
Wow.
Or not.
What's
like,
that
whatever.
fucking mean, man?
Yeah, Dan.
It just means that
Get out of here.
I've been getting a lot
Leave.
of non-English. If I leave, the podcast is over.
But like also,
I take the podcast with me, Sean.
yeah, but also hopefully ads didn't play, and because then you just get right back into it with us. So let's get right back into it with us.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now
yeah.
With our second round, which is production. Good. Kind of, I would say, kind of yes for both, but in very different ways.
I mean,
the Black Adam does the fucking DC thing.
Yep.
Where they shoot the entire thing on a soundstage in front of a green screen.
That's
Which
a Marvel thing too.
Marvel does it too, but Marvel at least tries to make digital backgrounds that still look like fucking the real world.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Well, not
Infinity
in all
War.
Well,
Okay, well, obviously context is important, but what I'm saying is, not like, I would say maybe 80% of this movie is shot on a green screen,
Yeah.
and like most shots of The Rock are either a fully CGI'd version of him or like a medium close up of him.
Yeah.
But on a green screen, which looks terrible. The separation between him and between anybody flying and the background is fucking atrocious.
Sure. I
At
just
most
don't see
times.
much difference between it and what Marvel does.
The quality
Yeah,
of it, the aesthetic quality of it is different.
I mean, it's
worse.
I think it's like nitty gritty for the average eye, like to try and compare them. Like it's similar enough. It's like I just can't. I'll say this: I can't care that much about two computer generated images punching each other. Like it's just not. I'm not invested in it. And even the criticism I would have of this movie is that even the parts that were real, like the city stuff, always felt like a soundstage.
Yeah.
It never felt like it was
in Black
filmed.
Adam.
Yeah, in Black Adam.
Right.
Yeah, like it never really felt like it was shot on location somewhere, and that they were trying to be like, look, it's like it just.
Which is frustrating because I mean obviously the country or village of Kahndaq is made up, but they're trying to add some like historical and cultural diversity to the universe.
Yeah.
And it all just looks like garbage.
Yeah, but like go film in Cairo. Like
Go film
like,
in Cairo. Yeah,
come
go fucking film in
like,
like you have The Rock and DC money.
yeah. Like, just for some of the scenes, make it. It's like, oh, that's like places in the world.
Yeah, go shoot in a temple. You know what I mean? Like when they're in the cave, for example, that is a set that could have easily been built,
Yeah.
and they just didn't.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
But like the generally, even though sure you might say like some of the foreground background stuff is rough, generally the CGI in this movie is of the A tier
Totally fine.
quality. It is good.
It's just when The Rock's face is on a skinny person.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
why would
100
you
pounds
not?
lighter.
Why would you not just make the Rock's head smaller?
Yeah, they didn't.
I didn't understand
Well,
that.
I thought for a long time because so in the sequence where the SWAT team's coming in to get them from the temple, there's the beefy English guy who's leading the SWAT team.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they don't show you his face. They continually show him in shadow or like something is in front of his face while he's talking. They don't show his face. And I was like, The Rock is going to become like his spirit will enter this guy.
Oh,
and
funny.
suddenly his face is, but nothing comes out of that.
Right.
So I really don't know why they were hiding this guy's face unless it came out in post production that like he had a large collection of illicit things on his hard drive or
Right.
something like that, and they had to like black him out of the movie.
Probably.
One thing I will say, production wise, was this movie tried really hard off the top to infuse some, not humor, but some levity with a couple of their sequences.
Yeah.
Like the Quicksilver ripoff at the very, very beginning, where everything's moving in super slow
And a bit of
motion.
music plays. Yeah.
yeah.
And they did it again with the Clint Eastern Western stuff. But like,
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort. I think that it was misplaced given that they never returned to that well again, or like,
Yeah.
or do anything that builds
Similar to
on
that
that.
bit
Like,
again.
it
Yeah, I agree
feels
with that.
so out of place.
I thought it's a different movie all of a sudden when they're mimicking what he watched on the TV in the Ford. What that was the movie we watched.
Good, the bad, and ugly.
Good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, the problem too is that The Rock, for some fucking reason, just chose to have zero personality. so when you're doing these bits that are supposed to be like quirky and fun and exciting, but the person at the forefront of them is like fucking like devoid of life, it doesn't work.
Well, it's like it reminded me a lot of the Terminator 2 dynamic, right? Where he's a robot that's
Yeah.
being taught how to be
human.
by the kid,
Yeah,
right?
and
That
you're
it's
like, meh.
it's the exact
That's not the movie I'm here
same
for,
shtick,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not done super well, and as a result, it like a lot of the movie just lacks, as you say, levity. And when they try to, it's not rooted in. It just doesn't.
Well,
make sense.
they don't. They try to set it up as this is going to be this type of movie because they do it right away.
They do, yeah.
As soon as we meet them, they do that, and like it kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, I guess this is what we're in for, and then they don't do it anymore. So like it doesn't. It's not, I don't think it's about being grounded in anything. I think it's more about like decide what it is. And I feel like it was maybe a post production decision to try and like
Yeah.
add a bit of spice to it,
Yeah.
but
It's a bit of a tonal issue.
completely.
Yeah. But like it's I'll say it's generally executed well. I wish they made better musical choices, which is an odd one.
Yeah.
Like I know I was joking with you before the movie, Dan, and doing my own version of Black Adam raps. But like I genuinely think this movie could have gone way fucking
Way
harder.
Like
It could have
end of Matrix hard, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
but even cooler.
Paint It Black.
Yeah.
What a
weird song for the kids.
it's just because it's for the kids. Yeah.
Like what kid
But
is like,
it's
oh
also,
sweet.
It's just because it's got black in the name.
Yeah,
I guess. And so it's
someone
Black
googled
Adam.
songs with black.
And part of it, I used to watch this show about it was a fiction series about the Vietnam War. Forget even the name, but the title song was "Paint It Black." And while he's fighting, like all the helicopters are being blown up, and the blades are going down, and there's a lot of like that kind of imagery, like because it's a jungle city too.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
So I was like, are they referencing this like this the kind of like side note 80s Vietnam show with this music right now, or are they just like it's got
I think it just
black
had black in
the
the
title?
name. Yeah.
Well, Superman on the other hand,
Superman.
Lot of cool practical miniature sets that
miniatures were dope.
The miniatures were very fun.
and like even some of the him flying stuff. I mean, like obviously we're doing a lot of Christopher Reeves in a harness in front of a projector or a green screen or something.
100%.
That's what they had in the day. But like, I don't know, it didn't feel anywhere near as cheesy as I expected it to.
It's what we think flying in movies is, which is probably a testament to this film. Is that when we think of someone flying in movies, we think of someone putting their hand on their hip and the other hand out ahead of their face and like going off into the distance.
The
kind
two
of thing.
hands forward.
Well,
type
and
thing.
I loved. I mean, they had no other option, but I loved the fact that we were always looking at the real Christopher Reeves flying
Yeah.
through the air.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool. And
When you
like,
can't computer animate the person, you got to find other solutions. And it kind of, even for the moments that you're like, woof, you laugh, but it's kind of charming. There's jump cuts where like literally he has to finish a scene and then jump
He has
jump
to
a little
jump
bit.
off screen.
And they cut to him being, fucking pulleyed
up,
away
yeah.
by someone.
yeah.
But the first time he flies out of the Fortress of Solitude, it's actually pretty effective.
Yeah.
It's a cool shot.
And the shot where like he flies out and you're on parallel with him, and then the camera turns upside down, I think.
Yeah.
And then he turns upside
Yeah.
down, and then the camera rights itself.
It's a whole, yeah.
And it purely to be like, hey, look at the effect we're doing. You can't see the wires, kind of thing. But like, yeah.
This movie, like in terms of cinematography, I think in terms of sound, like the opening soundtrack is super iconic to me. But then in terms of like it was going for something in terms of like its cinematography and visuals. Like the whole
It's a beautiful movie.
The whole Krypton sequence, as much as I think
Yeah.
it's dumb, is I think really well executed
Those sets are
visually.
cool.
The
The sets are really cool. The costume choice to make everything like a shiny.
But it's
I
at
didn't
least-
look up how. Yeah, but that's a choice.
it's
a cool
memorable
choice.
at least.
Yeah, I
It's
guess so.
It's at least something different. Fuck.
For sure.
And the crystal designs of stuff, I haven't seen stuff like that in a long time. It's not like the redesign in recent movies where they had penis ships flying into the air.
Oh man, those fucking penis ships in
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
Woo.
I don't know how that ever got past the first
yeah.
stage.
I saw it once. I never watched.
Oh,
it.
it's like
Yo,
it's great.
it is.
It's been
They are
great.
Yeah.
unmistakable fucking
dongs.
metal cocks.
If you haven't seen it, I know this sounds like a dangerous Google, but Google Man of Steel penis rockets.
Hard
And
man penis
We
rocket. Yeah,
promise
okay.
it won't go to the nasty site. You'll get you just image it. You'll see what we mean.
Moderate safe search on.
But while we're talking about that, even the opening sequence where they are
Punishing Zod and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
cool.
get trapped in the glass.
Yeah,
That's a neat effect.
Also, who is
The hoops.
the hoops were super dope.
The hula hoops rotating on
Yeah,
themselves.
but it's sick.
Who,
It's an
um,
effect, and it was practical.
Who
Was
is the
Had to be, right?
Yeah, for sure that was a real thing.
They're not
That was practical.
CG'd in
They
after
looked
or anything like that.
I don't know. Anyway.
No, you know how I know they were real because they were still going when they cut
Afterwards.
to Marlon Brando's coverage.
Yeah.
You could still see it like pop in and out of the frame.
All right. Well, then it's
Um,
okay.
Who is the big oafish villain? The
Richard Karn.
no,
Of
the character.
trio?
The character though, not the actor. Because he is reimagined in one of the later superhero or one
Richard
of the later
Kiel?
DC movies, but he looks nothing like he does obviously in this one. That I'm
Yeah, I only know General Zod.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. It's a sidebar, anyways. But yeah, I thought that the practical effects were by and large pretty fucking cool. We didn't get to see a lot of Superman superpowers, which was
He
disappointing.
looked at her lungs.
He did look at her lungs.
Yep.
And we saw him look into cabinets one by one with the little circles.
That was cute, but
That's
like no heat vision.
No, those don't come into. I
No.
didn't realize that it's not until later
He
movies
has
that
ice
he like
breath in the
he
next
freezes
one, I
a
think.
lake
Yeah,
top with
yeah.
his breath, and his eye beams
Yeah, I guess
come
it-
into effect.
I guess at a certain point he can literally just do anything.
In the second movie, because
Yeah.
they took over from Donner, they added more weird shit. I'll leave space for this.
Richard Lester, I think, is the guy who took over.
Oh yeah. Oh
Who
yes.
directed a lot of the Beatles' early films. He's very
Yeah.
campy. He directed the Three Musketeers films
Oh.
of the 70s, which are
Oh.
incredibly campy.
Right.
Yeah.
But like in that movie, he like pulls off his S and throws it like a weird
That's right.
net. Like
Traps them in his S.
Oh,
it gets fucking weird.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Like you don't get to see, first of all, Superman do anything Superman-like until at least the halfway point. But I think it's pretty well executed. Like him stopping the helicopter, like it looks like what it's supposed to portray. I think.
totally. The one thing I didn't
Totally.
The one thing I did not appreciate was the vanishing clothes.
When he
that one
suddenly
dive.
is in his
Both times. Both times.
the
The
Because
first one is fun.
no, the first time he runs
classic.
through the rotating door.
Yeah.
oh, really fast. Yeah,
Really
but
fast,
he's
and he-
changing while he's running.
Where do those clothes go?
He's
They
fast
go in
enough,
his
he-
super pack. Fight me, bro.
Dan, look, it's the second one that I find really rough. The first one I think is is like a nod to a classic Superman trope, and the second one where he's just like diving down is a bit like, okay, but seriously, where did the clothes go? Like the first one, you're like, okay, so he in the speed of this did something, and the second one's like, so his clothes aren't real.
Yeah.
It's not. I know what you mean.
Magic clothes. Yes.
But the shots of him and his mom Martha out in the wheat, like some old painting and stuff. Like the shots of
beautiful.
Americana are really well executed, and the Fortress of Solitude and going to the Arctic is all practical and
it's
wild
all
and
wonderful.
It's even him running like a little derpy derp is like has a degree of charm for me.
Yeah, it does. It harkens back. Like I know it's not Spielberg, but it's certainly like the wonder. You know, the filmmaking process as wonder.
Yeah.
That is not done anymore. You don't. I can't remember the last time I went to a like modern movie and came out being like, how did they recreated my dreams on screen? You know,
Yeah, as opposed to being like, well, a computer made it.
yeah.
And like some people who were overworked and underpaid
Yeah.
generated those images
that.
for us.
And then got fired.
And then got like fired
Yeah.
and probably beat up in the streets or something.
I do want to give Black Adam its due as well, though, because he was definitely walking through a multitude of real handcrafted fake walls.
Yes.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? That's true. Those are fun. Those
That
are fun
is pretty
shots.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny.
And you know what? To their credit, it only got funnier.
Yep.
Like that was one thing that I thought if they returned to the well too many times, it would lose its impact, but it only got
It's pretty
funnier.
funny.
Yeah.
I have no issues with the production value of Black Adam.
Yeah.
I have
And
none
I like
whatsoever.
the designs and stuff
Yeah.
of each of the hero team that we meet.
Yeah.
I think all of them look great.
Yep.
Mr. Falcon,
Falcon Boy,
Eagle Child,
Osprey guy.
Osprey guy.
Ant-Man. Or sorry, not Ant-Man.
Sorry, not Ant-Man,
Not
yeah.
Ant-Man, but yeah, exactly.
But Ant-Man, right?
yeah,
He's
but well,
fun.
and like he was like Ant-Man / kind of Deadpool.
Cyclone Lady.
But
Storm, you mean? You mean
Yeah.
Storm?
Yeah, but I liked her.
Definitely not Professor X's mansion, and definitely not the Quinjet
No,
from X-Men.
no, and definitely not Doctor Strange.
Definitely not Doctor Strange.
None of those things, and
Yeah,
definitely not
this-
Hawkwoman from.
That is the production note I will say. I don't know which came first in the comic world. I don't follow comics whatsoever. From what is publicly available in mass media in films that have been made in the last 20 years, Black Adam is just a rip-off of everything Marvel has done in the X-Men universe.
Massive.
The whole
ripoff.
Hawk character exists in the MC. No, she exists in the DC world as well. Anyway, whatever. So it's all weird. Anyway, but also Pierce Brosnan's character I thought had a great design and
Totally. That he
there's
was
lots of really-
he was super cool. I didn't even mind really the demon characters of the underworld or what the main villain kind of eventually turned into. I just wanted more screen time where he wasn't fighting. I wanted more development of that character. I wanted to see more of the underworld where he came from and flesh that out a little bit. Like it all just felt very kind of thrown in, which I guess is more of a story note. But like their designs were cool, and I wanted like more of their characters that I could actually look at and listen to, as opposed to just flurries of CGI.
yeah, that whole sequence where he's like put underwater and stuff could just be taken out if they just added more story.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's carry on because we're overextending every round right now. But we have so much to say. Bonus content today. So let's go to how are our mics doing?
Sean's has been a little wonky, but I'm hoping that Sean, give me a little song. Give me a little Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Come closer to your
I'm
mic.
closer to my mic now.
Yeah,
How
that
is
should be fine. We'll see how it goes.
All right,
Viewers,
sweet.
if you agree, write into
Send in your
30 box
50
tops.
Box tops.
Cheerios box tops.
yeah. Oh, it has to be Cheerios.
That was ridiculous.
That was amazing.
And definitely a production note, I think. That like
yeah, Superman. Early placement of advertising.
Yeah,
But
and like
like-
a really beautiful shot,
just
and then
straight up commercial.
Yeah.
but like fully like this like beautiful shot at dusk of him through the window of her house. He's gonna move away, and then she just puts a box of Cheerios in the shot.
But like
fucking
like,
perfect.
Like directly in perfect lighting. Like it was
Yeah.
Like it was just a shot.
Oh, it was
of-
planned,
The shot
yeah.
was about the Cheerios.
Yeah, Cheerios
right?
gave them $10,000.
And then also in Kandak,
Kandak.
there was a Converse store.
Of course. it
Oh,
was.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
course
of course, you know. They're under oppression, but doesn't mean they can't get their Converse. Okay, let's press on. So let's move into our third and final official round, which is round 3, acting. Good?
Okay.
This is
So-
the round.
Daniel, do you have something to say?
This is
So let's talk about the rock-sized elephant in the room here.
yeah.
Because it's okay. So first of all,
Busiest man in showbiz.
busiest man in showbiz.
Not time for acting classes.
Okay, so fine. If you're not gonna take the time to act, that's cool. But like, you have so many skills in your back pocket to fall back on. Not the least of which is just this like magnetic charisma that you have, which is especially charming coming out of a man that size. Right, like that, like it would make him the most. It's so easy to make him a likable, watchable superhero. I know he's supposed to be an anti-hero, fine, but like there is none of that. But I think what bothers me more than that is the fact that he chooses to play a character from Egypt, where everybody else in the movie has a very distinct and consistent accent, and he doesn't even try.
Well, that was going to be my question is I don't know what the sensitivity is there. The Rock is not someone of Middle Eastern descent by any means, shape, or form.
I think he has some African maybe in his background. He's
Is he Polynesian?
He describes himself as half black, half
Okay.
Polynesian.
Well,
I don't know where.
I have no skin in the game. I just was unsure exactly what the casting principles were, whether it was I'm the producer of this film and therefore I will play it, or I don't know.
I don't know either. It just seems like a weird. It just seems weird to me. I think he could be any other. I mean, I think The Rock as a superhero is a no-brainer, but it's very strange to me to make the choice of, like Kandak is a character in the movie.
Yeah.
It is like the whole thing is based around this culture and its history.
And the people
Yeah.
are its pivotal change moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yet he doesn't fit in that culture because there's no he doesn't speak like someone who lived 5,000 years ago,
No.
nor does he have an accent. So what are we doing?
I thought there was a little to look. I kind of agree with you, and the clear answer seems to be that The Rock
can't do it.
Can't do it. And I think they covered it in a decent way that I was like, oh, that's actually not so bad. Where, because they don't mention it at all. He just speaks English, like perfect, like American English.
Yeah.
As soon as he appears, he's like, I'm not it. He's like, hey, everyone. You can do it.
I'm not a hero.
Yeah, there you go. And so he just comes in with that. And then when he unshazams
Yeah.
to himself and he speaks Kandaki again, so then he starts speaking only in Kandaki, or I'm just going to call it that, the language.
Sure.
And so I get this kind of unspoken implication that him shazamming He's hit with the power of magic, and he speaks the language that the people respond
Yeah,
to.
he just is
There's,
universal. Yeah.
it's just you get the magic
Yeah, I bought it.
fixed to it, and so when he wasn't with that, he spoke his language again. He didn't know how to speak to them anymore,
Yeah.
and so I was like, okay, that's enough for me. So honestly, with that, I actually thought they covered their asses decently well enough, but
I guess
I would have
Like,
taken that more than a
sure.
movie of The Rock, like doing a vague North African / Middle Eastern
Yeah,
accent,
I-
like
I-
fucking any day.
I am not suggesting The Rock does an accent. I'm suggesting we put him in a superhero film that doesn't require one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Also, maybe I'm alone in this, but I felt like he actually got too big for this movie. Like so big that it felt distracting and like he looked odd even as a
it's because of the
superhero.
outfit.
Yeah, the outfit like doesn't help his neckline.
No, and
Yeah,
his
it's
like
weird,
he's like
right?
Yeah.
enormous legs because you get that like because your quads and stuff can build a lot, but your calves can't. So when you have supersized thighs, and then your calves are as big as your calves can get,
Yeah.
and then you're in a skin tight suit, like it just starts to look like you realize that
It's
he's
a
a
little
weird
iffy. Yeah.
muscle bound hulking man. He looked great with the cloak at the beginning.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I think
That was a good look
I
for
think
him.
he looked like when we see him get the powers from his son in the flashback and he just has the
Sure.
thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
great.
I think
I
we're
was
spending way too much time
sopping
talking
wet.
about The Rock.
Well,
he's just
okay.
not good. Okay, there's the answer.
I think we just have to say he's not good in this film. It's a weird choice, and move on to like I think the native Kandakis in the film were actually pretty good. The brother was fun.
Yeah, he's
Brother
fun.
was fun.
Brother's
I thought the sister
pretty-
was
Sarasaki
quite strong. Yeah,
was
yeah.
quite good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Her
thought she,
son was fine.
He was
Fine.
fine-ish.
He did things.
they all did fine. They are all like clearly actors. Acting in a movie.
Hawkman, dreadful.
Yeah, not so good.
Just-
You
Yeah,
looked up his
it's-
name.
Yeah.
Aldous Hodge.
Aldous
Aldous Hodge.
Hawkman. Aldous Hawkman.
Yeah. Terrible.
Oldest
Aldous-
Hawkman.
Pierce
Aldous
Brosnan phoning it in.
I disagree.
yeah, I disagree as well.
He's not phoning it in.
He's mumbling.
No, I thought
No,
I thought
he's
Pierce
the best
Brosnan-
part of the movie.
Yeah,
Is that just him being charismatic and James Bond?
But that's an actor.
No, yeah, I agree with Jack. I think that Pierce Brosnan did
He
an
made it.
exceptional
He
job.
made it all the clearer how much The Rock was not acting.
Yeah.
Okay, then I agree with that. What I will say is Pierce Brosnan is acting his role. He's not giving his role any character. I don't know who Dr. Fate is after watching that movie.
But-
I
but
don't
not
know
much.
what he represents.
Okay,
He
okay.
just is this dude that
He's
shows up.
stoic, and that's
but-
lame.
yeah.
But this
Woo.
is the fault of the movie, which DC does. They introduce 17 characters at a time and
Yeah.
don't develop any of them.
Yeah.
So
correct.
you can only do so much when there's nothing written about your character.
Sure. Yeah.
What I'm going to say is that at the end of the movie, I'm left with the unfortunate feeling that I actually just wanted to watch the Pierce Brosnan superhero movie, which is not a good thing to come
Well,
away
we'll
with your
probably
Black
get a
Adam
Dr.
movie like.
Fate, but it'll
Oh,
be
he's
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
I would do a Doctor Fate versus Doctor Strange though. That'd be fun.
Sure, crossover.
So like I
Yeah.
liked him. The rest of the team was I could give a shit.
Yeah, I didn't care
about fucking Atom Smasher and Tornado Girl.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. And
don't
they were
care.
trying so
Cute.
hard to like develop chemistry
Whatever.
between the two of them, and it's just like
I bought
eh,
it. I was down.
Sure, but who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who gave a
I
shit?
bought it.
You were that high.
I had a good time. I had a good time in this film.
So what's the deal? So Aldous Hawkman, did you see what else he was in?
Nothing
I
that I recognize.
I recognized him from something.
It's
but
it's so
He's in
funny
the Lady
too.
Killers, but I don't remember him from that.
I've seen so many comments online about like what an outstanding job he does and how he like carries the film, and I
No.
I thought he was
He's
was just-
emotional. He emotionally carries the film. I would
guess,
say.
but he's just a fucking hammer through the whole thing. Like
Sure.
like nothing.
yeah.
I thought he was bad.
Well, the character is bad, but I think he as an actor is doing his best with what he had. Not best, but he's doing
He was the worst written
his
character.
best. Yeah, it's just stubborn and kind of it's brash
and changes from wanting to murder Black Adam to just wanting to imprison him from scene to scene to scene.
yeah, he's just an uninteresting character.
It's not well written, and he's just doing what he can. Christopher Reeve is a delight.
He's an actor.
He is a beautiful actor, and the world lost a fucking like bright star.
Yeah.
I actually found that like I may have been more damp than Lois Lane watching him. In this movie.
The switch. So when he's
Dude.
playing, when he comes in as geeky Clark,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he does it really well,
despite
being, I think, actually probably 6'4" in real life. Like,
Oh, for sure.
he's taller than the elevators.
yeah, he's a giant dude, and then when he fucking puts on that charm with Lois Lane, and he put his hand kind of to his mouth, and he has this little grin. You're like, oh,
Tell me
dude.
more,
Oh my
Superman.
God.
Put that
Superman.
super dick in my butt.
yeah. So your anatomy works. What was that, Dan?
Say it again.
I said put that super dick in my butt.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just making
Okay,
sure.
yeah.
The how big are you joke is quite funny.
I never clued into how
Oh yeah,
dirty
definitely
that
never.
scene is.
Oh, it's
It's
straight
quite
up
dirty.
filth.
Yeah.
It's filth.
She's
that
essentially
thing.
just like, can you fuck me? Will
yeah,
that work?
They're just
Can
having
you
a
fuck?
late night sex conversation,
Yeah.
but in real life.
I think she's good too, Lois.
Margot Kidder, sure, Canadian
It's-
pride.
yeah.
Yeah, she was fine.
This is going to be a terrible
Singing,
thing to
not so
say,
much.
maybe, but I really appreciated that she wasn't like traditional bombshell for a lead. Like I think that she had a bit more of an average quality to her physically, which shouldn't matter and doesn't matter, but it does matter, and it's important when you're watching movies with a leading female character.
Yeah.
That she has like some like crow's feet on her face.
Yeah, she looks like
Like,
a
fuck.
real
Yeah.
person.
And her
which I
character
like.
is also like
teeth have some
journalistic
color.
trash.
What's that?
Her character is journalistic trash.
And
Yeah.
illiterate.
The articles that she's writing is fucking tabloid bullshit.
Yeah.
I forgot that this movie doesn't address it all. So, but she's from Smallville. Like at the beginning,
Oh, that's right.
the redhead that he talks to.
No, that's Lara.
That's Laura
That's Lara. That's not Lois.
or
that's Lara.
Lana.
Lana.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
different. Okay, never mind. Then I thought I thought that was the same character, and I was
I
like,
don't know
that's
if
a
she
big-
is from Smallville in the comics, but there is
the
the show.
The show.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, I thought it was the same. I thought I got the L names
and Lex
confused.
Luthor's from Smallville
It's the
too.
L names. Yeah,
So,
yeah, whatever. That's
yeah.
show.
Gene Hackman's pretty fun. The character
yeah.
is again very poorly
Weak,
written,
but he's a good performer.
He's a
great.
very strong performer. I thought his mistress,
Miss Tessenbacher.
I guess, I thought she was very weak.
Well, yeah.
Idiot sidekick is kind of fun.
Ned
pretty
Beatty.
good.
Ned Beatty's.
Ned Beatty.
Yeah, his comedic timing was great.
Yeah,
I
he was
enjoyed
fine.
him.
But like
What do you guys think of Armis?
Armis.
Who?
Armis.
The main character.
The cop.
But whose name they
Detective
couldn't tell
Armis.
us enough. So
But-
the performances are generally.
There's a spectrum in both these films, I think.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves, I think, is definitely the standout.
Singular.
Yeah.
One Reeve.
Yeah, like just
One Reeve.
Yeah.
one Reeve
singular
to
Reeve.
rule them all. Did I
Yes.
say Reeves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
One
never known.
crown to rule them all. That was there's a lot of Sauron in the beginning of Black Adam. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I've honestly spent my whole life wondering if it's Reeve or Reeves and never bothered to look it up.
Singular.
It's just Reeve.
Just Reeve. One singular Reeve.
Christopher Reeve.
Hey.
Yeah, he's a beautiful, beautiful man and performer.
Yeah.
Also, side note, the Black Adam flashbacks. Hollywood needs to figure out how to do the ancient world flashback in a new way. They need to, because how they did it in this movie is exactly how it looks in all movies now, of like, it's like slow-mo shots of like it's. They need to figure that out again, and I think it's partly because
Since 300.
since 300 and stuff, yeah. But they need to get back into building some sets, hire the people, build the costumes,
Yeah.
and like have some scenes there. Do it. Enough of this. Like we have 5 scenes that we keep replaying in slow motion.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I
Please.
think I would also like to say just stop doing them.
Sure, if you don't want it, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I just like just do it.
If it's done well,
Just fucking do it.
Okay,
keep me the same tasty paddle.
I hate
Just
the
make it
big
different.
Can
panning
we-
shot of the CGI skyline. Like
Can
it
we-
makes me not care at all.
Can we think of a movie where it's been done well enough that you enjoyed it? Maybe 300.
A flashback to like ancient times, or are we talking just pure flashback?
But like, it's hard.
I think it has
because-
to be ancient times. I think it has to be. I think that's what we're talking
so
about.
really, we're narrowing
flashbacks.
it down to what? Wonder Woman.
And maybe not even flashbacks. Maybe are you talking about flashbacks or just depictions of ancient?
Like, look,
Earth.
if you want to do a flashback to ancient Earth, you better like take a look at Gladiator and go, all right, like that's what our movie looks like for the first 15 minutes that
I
we're
can't
deciding
wait
to
to
do it.
get Gladiator on this pod and just shit all over it.
There's shitting to be had there, yeah,
Yeah.
there is, but there's also lots of good stuff there too.
It's fine.
Versus what though?
The Eagle 2.
Versus like Death Race.
That's not bad. Versus Rocky.
No, we already did Rocky.
Did Rocky.
Versus Street Fighter.
No, we already decided not to do Street Fighter.
We didn't do. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad pairing.
But no,
Gladiator
Death
versus-
Race was not a bad idea though, because they're
Death Race
kind of
needs-
like
it should be like
they're
Death Race
gladiators.
versus like Fast and Furious or something.
No, that's Fast and Furious, all of the movies
Land
versus
Before Time.
all of the James Bond movies.
All right, we'll fight about this.
If
over
there's
the
the
break.
same number of classic James Bond movies as there is
They're
Fast
not.
and Furious,
They're not.
But
Like,
how-
of
but
classic?
how
Where
many?
do you draw
so-
the line?
Yeah,
Pierce Brosnan's classic to me.
no, pre-Brosnan is what I'm saying.
No.
Brosnan is like 25
Bro-
years ago. He's definitely classic Bond.
I would
No,
say
but it's modern era. I mean, I want like
GoldenEye's classic, but Tomorrow Never Dies is not.
fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But how many? But even pre-Brosnan, how many movies do you think there is?
What do you mean?
How many Bond movies?
He had 4.
No, but how many before him?
Oh, like 20?
Oh shit! Well, never
Yeah.
mind. Fuck. Well, we could
Has there
just
been
cut out
that
some of
many
them.
Bond movies?
Maybe by his like
20?
16 or 17. Oh yeah. There's a lot.
Shit. All right. Well, end of round and all that, and let's take a little break, and we'll come back and we'll close this podcast. Thanks, y'all.
So, anyways, I was saying to him, look, gentlemen, sir, you need a vacuum cleaner that is suited to your lifestyle. Here.
what I've been saying.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
I've
That's
been
what he was
thinking
saying
that.
to me. And I said, I can sell you one for half the price of mine. We're back.
Oh,
To a Citizen Kane scoring.
That was a classic Sean bring back there.
Nonsensical bullshit.
Yeah, you can't get that anywhere else. That's
Nope.
a classic Sean Jacqueline.
People avoid me for it.
They sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's rate these movies. I
Yeah.
feel like we talked about it enough that I don't think this will take very long. To be honest with you.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty fucking on the fence about.
Okay,
this.
great. Yeah, I mean, there's some tricky stuff here, but I think it'll just move quickly. So,
Okay.
jumping into it.
Don't rush me.
So shut up. So, Black Eye. Story. So, the main crux seems to be that Black Adam is clunky in its execution, but is like a pretty concise story.
Yeah.
That even with its like 2-hour plus runtime doesn't feel too drawn
Definitely
out. Like
not as terrible as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, seriously.
I actually kind of wish there was 30-ish more minutes of this movie.
No.
Yes, just to flesh out the story more because
No.
You keep saying this, and I'm realizing it's a problem.
no, but because
should have done things the time they had better. But yeah, I know what you mean.
but it's impossible. There's so much shit they're introducing. It is impossible to do it in 2 hours or 90 minutes or whatever.
It's not. You cut the entire Justice Squad out of that movie.
They're-
Justice Society.
the
No one gives a
Justice-
shit.
the Justice
you cut
Society-
them out of the movie.
They're a massive part of the story.
Or it could just be Hawkman and Dr. Fate.
It's
and cut the other
Daredevil.
two
With them,
characters.
it's just Daredevil. It becomes Daredevil.
What do you mean?
The X-Men are arriving to try and make the anti-hero be a real hero, but the real...
You mean Deadpool?
Oh, what did I say?
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Yeah, you said Daredevil.
Yeah, okay, it's not Daredevil.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Double D's.
Maybe, and I agree. We could have lost Atom Smasher and Cyclone.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even just developing the mythology of the underworld a little more to make the villain turn man. It's in fact that shit's important.
It's just the devil.
Anyways,
I am evil
Yeah,
now.
that's all we needed.
So,
No,
which
I
it,
hate
no,
when they
but
do
I know what
that.
you mean though,
DC
because
always
that
does
because
that.
just that is kind of weak sauce. It would have been nice if like Ishmael had any sort of human grounding.
Sure.
yeah.
And we got the old, they passed it down to me.
He slaughtered my family. Kind of like my ancestors were slaughtered by Teth Adam.
Yeah, because they were anyway.
Anyways,
So
And
and then
Superman, on the
and then
other
Superman is like a lot of clunky bullshit as well. Overall, you kind of get the gist
charming
of
as shit.
it. But like the story is charming.
No.
Yeah, Superman is charming, but the
Yeah.
story is sloppy.
And the presentation is charming.
Yeah, I would say. Well, it's delivered to us by.
Yeah.
And the script is. I would
By
say
competent filmmakers.
the script is better, but the story is worse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in Black Adam, the script is pretty shit, but the
Yeah.
story is better.
Well, we'll
which
find,
is a
I mean-
weird.
I mean, well, let's.
But I mean, like, I'm not saying the category, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like the overall.
Yeah, so it's Black Adam, right? Black Adam.
For story?
Adam? Yeah,
What do you say, Sean?
Oh, Black Adam.
Yeah, I'd say Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Okay, so moving on to production. For me, this one, even though again, no major faults with Black Adam, but just nothing that really made me go, "Ooh, neat." Like I can acknowledge that it's well executed, it's clean, it's of an A tier quality, as I said before. But for me, I'm saying Superman
I'm gonna go Superman as well.
for the song that she sang.
Yes. No, I'm gonna go Superman as well because I agree. You know, I mean, I don't agree. Black Adam, I think some of the CGI was questionable, but it also looks like just kind of more of the same from DC, which is annoying because with the latest Suicide Squad, with James Gunn at the helm, it seemed like they were kind of moving in a different direction tonally and visually, which actually showed promise for the DCEU. And now Black Adam, which is supposed to be their like big breakout deal to set them apart, is just literally more of the same. So for that, and for the fact that everything was practical in Superman and looked quite good, Superman.
Black Adam.
Really?
That's my vote.
You really liked that movie, eh?
Wait, for production, really?
Yep.
Tell us why. The audience needs to know.
Yeah. How's my mic level? Am I fading out? I'm
You're good, you're
All
good.
right. I honestly found I think Superman is beautiful. I think it is a true filmmaker making a film. I just didn't like most of the production effects, to be honest. It's fine, but like I'm past that now. I think I don't need to see a man in underwear suspended on strings anymore, and I don't like John Williams' score. I don't like it.
Really?
I just don't like the music. I find it derivative of himself. I think I've just listened.
Did he also do Star Wars?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
done. He did
Yeah, yeah.
E.T. I think I've just listened to too many Toronto Symphony Orchestra does John Williams nights,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
fucking done with him.
Okay.
I'm
So there's a
over it.
personal
There
there's
is
a personal thing
here.
going
Yeah.
on here. That's allowed.
And Black.
Wow.
I do agree that I think Black Adam's score could have been more aggressive, but it didn't offend me, and I didn't really notice it at all. And when I did, paint it black, whatever, it's a jam still. There were some songs, and the visual effects I thought were fine. So I was like, I'm gonna give it to
Like,
Black Adam.
If Black Adam came in there fucking hot and heavy with like some of the kind of musical tones that like Black
Deadpool
and like
has,
Black
or-
Panther
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
where it was just like
Yeah, then it would be a clear win.
Well, that was the thing too, is that like it felt like the music, they were trying to have that kind of impact, but like the base of the entire score was missing. Like it
Yeah.
you know
yeah,
what I
that's what I
mean?
mean. There wasn't bass.
There's no
in
low
it.
end.
Yeah. It was weird. Like they were trying to keep it. Someone was like, keep it light.
Yeah,
But the movie
Well,
itself
that's
was
the studio.
dark.
Yeah, it
That's
feels
the
like studio.
That like Shazam did well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, it's a Shazam world, so keep it Shazam like a bit. So don't go too. Anyway, it does read a bit like that.
Yeah.
Post anyway. So overall point two.
The Superman.
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 You both
Superman.
souped
Black
it
Adam
up.
and Superman.
Superman,
So 1-1 right now.
1-1.
So coming down to the final round here, which is acting.
Superman.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Yeah, it's got to be Superman.
There
for
is
me.
acting.
I think so, unless you have a real point otherwise, Dan. I mean, I'm not super persuaded, but
I mean,
I like Pierce Brosnan, but your point is true, Sean. I think that
He
has
just
his charisma,
He's
but
a nice guy, and you want to watch him because he's handsome and speaks well.
yeah.
well, yeah, I think if we're doing Black Adam versus Superman, the real contest is between those two leads.
yeah.
And like there is no contest.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck Dwayne Johnson is doing in this movie.
He's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything, and I don't know if that was his choice or if that was really bad direction.
Yeah.
But someone should have stepped in.
No, it's
like
him.
Everything that makes him likable is missing in
Who
this movie.
directed this film?
I don't
even
know.
Notice.
No idea.
I don't know.
This is a rare situation where I'll say without hesitation that it's 100% The Rock is the problem. There's no way, as you said, he had influence. There's no way that he's going to let some director say, no, it's better if you don't perform at all. There's no way. This was his choice.
Mm-hmm.
This is what The Rock thinks dramatic looks like
Yep.
and
Yeah.
sounds like. He knows how to be quippy and smarmy and charming. He's quite good at it, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Fucking otherwise, the guy literally does not understand what acting is. He can't act because he himself is just kind of charming and you know.
But like we've seen him act in other things.
He acted more in Skyscraper, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, and he did that
Skyscraper,
whole.
he wasn't terrible. I think he's really great in Jumanji, which is like not
I
dramatic
haven't
acting.
seen that, but like I hear he's good in
I love
He has that
Jumanji.
whole series, High Ballers or something. Ballers on HBO. He had that. It was like 4 or 5 seasons with
Yeah,
like
a whole
Rob
show on
Corddry,
HBO.
and like he's charismatic. He acts in that. He has stakes in things.
So I just don't know. I don't know what happened.
But I think that
We're just exhausted every day.
Yeah.
well maybe I mean
Probably just at
I've
the iron.
I've heard him
Maiden
make
every
Iron Paradise.
morning.
I've heard him make jokes in interviews about how he doesn't make a point of learning his lines before he gets to set. So like that is possibly what this is.
Oh, so we have 2 Marlon Brandos today.
Yeah,
We didn't talk about Marlon Brando.
And no, we did not.
I
mumbled his way through
actually
things.
I didn't mind Brando. In
talk
this
about
instance.
being charismatic
sucked.
and learning words.
What I can't believe that shot of him saying goodbye to his infant son with the face and tone of someone reading a newspaper to a stranger.
Didn't you win an award for this movie?
No, he won an award for Godfather, which is
Yeah, that-
around this time.
That I know. Okay.
Yeah.
I know they get confused a lot. Different
Yeah.
movie.
Space Father and Godfather. Yeah.
Sorry, was that which
Space
Brandon
Father.
movie was that? Was that The Godfather or was that Superman?
Father.
Just which Brando performance was that? Kal-El or head of
Or Don, whatever.
or
the
Don
fuck.
Corleone?
Don Corleone.
No, but I think you're right. I think
Don
that
Kal-El.
Don Corleone.
I think this is his first outing in a role where he has to be.
Jor-El.
I don't know. It's not dramatic. He's done dramatic. It's like stoic. Maybe is the word. It's a departure from what he's known for, and I think that he just didn't know what to do. And
I
got
think he's
lost.
better in that animal, Jacques Cousteau's Animal House. What was the movie we watched? That movie where he's in.
Sorry, we're talking about The Rock right now. Right?
Oh, I thought
I'm talking
Marlon
about The
Brando.
Rock. No,
Okay,
no,
never
no.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
no,
Rock is a big swing and a miss. It just
not even a big swing.
I think we're talking about him way too much in this podcast.
yeah, okay, fine. He's done.
But how okay? You keep saying that, but how do we not talk about him? The movie, one of the movies is entirely him.
Yeah, I think. we
So the
just did
point
like
goes
Goes
to
to
Superman,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I think we all in a
Yeah,
sweep, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So that means with 2 points to 1 that the Citizen Kane of the week is
And how big are you? How tall are you?
About 6'4".
6'4". And how much do you weigh?
Around 225.
225. I assume then that the rest of your bodily functions are normal.
Superman. Christopher Superman.
Why did you say that like a ghost?
That's a reference to the Iron
Superman.
Giant. a movie that I've never seen,
Oh, okay.
but I know that.
I am amazed that Black Adam got any consideration in this contest.
Yeah,
not a bad movie.
That movie's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
honestly,
no,
I liked it
what
more
I'm
than
saying
Doctor
is-
Strange 2 that we saw in theaters.
Any of the Batman or Superman films of recent memory.
Oh yeah, it's the best thing DC's put out.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing.
You think that this was better than the Batman?
Yep.
Oh.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
wait, then the recent Pattinson one that we
Yeah.
watched?
yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna read well. What?
I had a
that's-
better time.
How drunk and high were you in the Batman?
Not.
Oh yeah. Well, you were so drunk and
no.
high this one.
Yeah,
That's cheating.
I wasn't
you.
that.
You
were
primed
giggling.
to enjoy
Because it was a stupid. There
Yeah,
were stupid
but
moments.
Eternium.
yeah.
Eternium.
That was right off the
No,
bat.
I enjoyed the Batman more, but I don't include the Batman in the recent DC outings in my mind.
I think in
But that
terms
movie
of,
also wasn't. Maybe I agree with you. Shit, 'cause I didn't like the Batman that
It's
much.
a more
no
enjoyable
way, man.
film.
Anyway, look, it's fine. It doesn't deserve to be slagged off like it has been.
No. Yeah,
Honestly.
I haven't read any reviews, but you made it seem like it was a pariah of.
It's a bit generic,
yeah.
but like it also.
you know,
has-
it's been just destroyed by critics. It has like a 34 on Rotten Tomatoes. Like it's fucking awful, but it has like a 98% from audience score, and that's what The
Right,
Rock is
that's
really
where-
leaning into.
it's hard when the writing, like as a critic, what do you do? Or like the writing is shit for the most part,
Yeah.
and the main actor is essentially a non-actor through the whole movie. What do? You can't as a critic be like, this movie is an 80 out of 100, like 8 out of 10, because you're like, the things that define movies aren't here. Like it's
Yeah.
a tough spot, like
Yep.
admittedly. Anyway, so speaking of Black Adam and its faults, Citizen Kane, let's versus it, and what does it need?
Well,
Just the main character.
It
The
needs
Rock.
Just The
it
Rock.
needs it
He
needs a
to
new
not have The Rock
lead
in it.
for sure. It needs more bass in the score. It needs
Sure.
it needs
Yes.
it needs,
Low end.
It needs a
It's
low end
needs
on
a
the
that
low
fat
end,
bottom.
some
Yeah.
aggressive like early
PH.
2000s fucking gangster hip hop or something in
Yep.
there.
Take out, paint it black,
Yo,
and
take it
and
out.
take it
take
out.
it out and put in something that like hits hard.
Yeah.
Put in, and then have a quirky moment where fucking Notorious B.I.G. comes in there.
Yeah.
And then we lose. I want, but I think I want more scene
DMX.
with a new actor. What'd you say?
I said DMX.
Yeah, with rest in peace. With a new lead, then we can have more moments like the Quicksilver moment or like the Clint Eastwood moment because there's more charm, there's more personality. So we add more of that, infuse more of that into the movie, so not everything feels so fucking heavy and weighted, which is the curse of the DC movies.
Yeah.
Right? Like they are incapable, especially when Snyder's at the helm, they're incapable of like making things fun or light ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do we put in place of The Rock?
Like not to lean too heavily into like cultural background, but like you got Idris in terms of like
Yeah.
another actor of African descent.
Except that the country or the culture that they introduced was definitely more Middle Eastern and less
Yeah, I know.
black.
Yeah.
I know.
So Idris Elba, I mean, I would watch him do anything, but I think we need a brown actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Probably
I'm-
somebody who isn't like a bodybuilder first and an actor second. Probably someone
That,
who
that would
maybe
be
someone-
ideal.
beef up for the role.
I like. I don't know. Honestly, some unknown. You put a bunch of unknowns into it already. Like I know you need your lead to be a lead and established or whatever, but this movie's probably better if it's someone who is like skilled and is putting the work into being there
What about the guy from Dev Patel? Is that his name from Slumdog?
No, yeah, sure.
Dev Patel.
He's
Damn,
Indian.
that'd be
It's
wild.
a very, very different culture.
But like, look, if they can do, here's the thing. I think let's not be too confined by that. Let's put the actor that we want. in
Ben
there.
Kingsley.
Yeah, there it is.
Sir Ben Kingsley.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci.
So, look, I think
Mediterranean, I guess.
like, look, this movie, like, they cast The Rock, and so they
The Rock
made,
cast himself.
Yeah,
actually.
The Rock cast himself, and then they built a civilization that looks like The Rock. So I'm saying whoever we cast, they can make a civilization that looks like him. They literally had everyone from ancient Kardak have bald heads, just so that he fit in more to their society.
What they should have done
So
maybe is
we
just
could
make
say
it.
Idris if we want to.
There's so. I mean, I don't know how much leeway they had, but they could have just made it fucking like Polynesian mythology because there's the culture steeped in that.
Yeah.
And then
Well, yeah. Well, I like. I don't
mean, maybe
know.
they can't.
I
Maybe
think
the-
very much
the
it is
IP.
like they can make the culture whatever they want it to make. Based,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Based on who the actor
Like,
is.
I think if you gave like
Tilda
Jamie
Swinton.
Shut up. If you gave like Jamie Foxx this movie, I think if you got him to care about it, I think
hard to do now.
I know that's what I mean, but like, I think he could maybe bring this movie home in an interesting way. But you know, if he felt like actually performing again, he seems kind of done. But like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Rock
maybe.
out.
Although we've seen him in a superhero movie. He was in Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he phoned it in.
It was fucking like god awful. In 2 Spider-Man movies, he was fucking terrible.
what about? Well, he actually tries to act a little bit. To be fair to him in those movies, what about Bautista as other wrestler?
I mean, we run into the same problem though. Definitely a better actor.
Yeah.
I think again he's too large. I think that the size is a real problem. Like because he is, The Rock is like, he doesn't have like the superhero physique. He is just a fucking huge man.
But that's the DC look, right?
But if you compare
Marvel too,
if you compare Henry Cavill's physique as Superman to The Rock,
yeah.
there's something very aesthetically pleasing about Henry Cavill's physique. He's like fit and like sculpted in the right places,
Very
but still
hostile.
looks
well,
lean.
it's still computer stuff too, right? But I know what you
Sure,
mean.
but he's fucking like he's in amazing shape.
Yeah.
The Rock,
He's also just, like,
it just looks
15
like
years younger.
he's stuffed boulders into a fucking leotard.
yeah.
Like he's fucking insanely huge. But I think Batista is a better actor, but he's also too white and old. And The Rock is also too old to do this, by the
Yeah.
way. That was a problem too, is that his face looked too fucking old. Sorry, but it's true.
The hate from Dan.
I'm disappointed, man. If you ever watch like early Rock in like the 90s on like the old WWF programming, just
I
like
pity the fool, right? That was
no,
his-
that's Mr. T.
that was- no, that's The Rock.
That's Mr. T. But he is just like oozing charisma, and it's insane to see that compared to what he's become.
Right.
I do want to figure out who would be a better fit.
It's admittedly a tough cast. Like I do.
I think maybe an unknown is probably the best. What about the guy from fucking Aladdin?
Aladdin, like
The
the guy
Ryerson
who went
guy?
to
The
Ryerson.
Ryerson guy.
What is it now?
I think-
Metropolitan Toronto University.
TMU. Toronto.
Toronto
that what the change
Metropolitan
Yeah, I
University.
forget his name, but yeah, Miranda like kind of knows him. He,
doesn't he have a
I have his
cookbook or something?
cookbook
Yeah, I
over
was
there.
gonna
We could, Mina something, Mina Mensa. Anyway,
Looking
What
at the
about,
wrong guy.
What about Will Smith?
Oof.
I mean, Will Smith of a certain era.
He did Hancock.
Honestly,
He's already done his jaded anti-hero.
yeah, he did do Hancock.
Hancock
which-
is essentially Black Adam.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the same movie.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Just no Justice Society.
Yeah.
Justice Society, like Justice League, exists in the same.
Well, that's the
fucking
that's the thing.
universe.
They're the
But you can't do anything about that except choose different heroes to include in your thing. But the IP is the IP, right?
Yeah.
So it's all silly. That's the problem.
Anyway, it's just you just gotta. It doesn't matter who it is. It seems to be someone else, and then
Danny McBride.
okay, fine.
and a new writer's room.
Yeah.
New writer's room. Keep like two of the 12 that wrote the current script. Keep those 2 because they are the ones that wrote human dialogue, and then bring in a bunch of people theoretically not on the like company thumb, but I don't know who you get out of DC and whatever
Yeah.
what's the Warner?
Yeah.
Out of the Warner Brothers DCEU stock, like, who do you get that's not just shilling out the product for us to shove into our mouths?
Yeah.
I would also say if we maybe took out like 50% of the scenes of The Rock just killing people and replaced that with character development, that would be a plus too.
Sure.
Maybe a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to see the same shots of him just throwing inter-gang members around.
And just always CGI.
Yeah.
Like there was just nothing practical to ground you in like, whoa, he's strong. So he never actually looks strong because it's always, you can always just, your eye can tell because it's magic. So essentially, I think definitely yes, some story fixes, but like generally, like it's as simple as like have a different actor, fix your soundtrack, and this movie goes from like the C plus B minus range up to like the B plus A minus range.
Yeah. It's a A minus for this.
It's 80%.
Maybe
If it had a good lead and the soundtrack was like.
I think
I need some big story fixes, like writing fixes. But you know, like
I'm interested to see how they're going to integrate this into the Shazam world, because those two movies are like almost literally night and day.
Yeah.
Have you seen Shazam?
No.
It's fun. It's like a good DC movie that rights a lot of the wrongs.
I'll see Shazam 2.
Shazammer.
We saw the ad for it today.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that movie. Hopefully Black Adam's in it.
Oh, for sure. There's going to be like a mid-credit tease with him being like, "Get ready for the next movie, Shazam v Superman."
I'm looking for
v
some Shazams to do a
Black
Shazam.
Adam.
Are you fucking Shazam? And he's like, Shazam, and he's like, Shazam, my Shazam, and then they Shazam across the universe together.
Shazam across the universe.
That should be the title of the next Black Adam.
Yeah, I think so too.
Black Adam 2, Shazam across the universe.
Fucking hell yeah, man.
Black Adam 3, get your Shazam out of here.
Yeah.
Black Adam 4.
Superman returns
This time,
Yeah.
it's personal. Shazam.
This time it's Shazam on all.
All right, what are we watching next week?
Yeah, so Sean,
Next
tell us
time.
about your
Hey,
Christmas
it's
picks.
ching, 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 ching. You know what that sound is? Ching, 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 ching. You know what that sound
vaguely
is?
racist.
It does sound.
I'll
I
leave
actually
that
thought the
to
same
your
thing.
fucking brains. It's sleigh bells, motherfuckers. It is the oncoming carol of the sleigh bells
that
as
is
they come over the snow-crested hilltop
That is
to
decidedly
spread
not sleigh
Christmas cheer.
bells.
You motherfucking.
It's getting more racist as
Oh
he
my
talks
God.
Ching,
about
ching,
it.
ching, ching.
That's fucking you. That's goddamn
That's
you.
exactly what it sounded like.
Like the bells sound. Jesus.
No,
Christ.
something about it was not right.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
You're all wrong. Anyways, it's Christmas. in
Majority
case,
Thank you.
agrees. And then you said Christmas, which is pretty racist.
Pretty fucking racist.
Yeah.
And Bing Crosby, who notorious racist,
Yeah.
stars in White Christmas.
White Christmas.
We're saying it now. Sounds even worse. So White Christmas is our classic,
Sean.
and it's going up against Saving Christmas.
Oh, right. Oh, no. Now your point is made.
A
This
Kirk
isn't.
Cameron spectacular.
So it's Christian white nationalism week here for our Christmas episode.
Essentially, but I think we're gonna quickly be like, oh no.
Yeah, we're gonna criticize these two movies.
Most likely.
I'd say definitely. I think if you're someone who watches these movies with us ever, I would say expect these movies to be garbage.
Can we dress up either like priests or Santa?
I don't know. You're gonna support me in future bits, or are you just gonna?
Dude, I don't know how I would have supported you in that bit. It was
that
so
was rough.
incredibly racist. There's no way that I could have known you were doing sleigh bells, dude. Honestly, it was, hey, you know what sound this is? A ching, 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 ching.
It was pretty close to that.
You know what that is, guys? Ching, ching,
Sleigh
ching,
bells.
ching. No,
No, man.
no way. No way. I'm down for most bits, but I didn't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm sorry.
Just come with me. That's all I ask.
I didn't know where you were going.
Just come with me.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'll edit that. You want to start again? I'll edit it out.
No,
okay.
we're good.
Okay.
Where are we going next week, Sean? All right, so it's a white Christmas.
Just White Christmas.
White Christmas.
Not very white Christmas.
Whites only Christmas, I think Sean is pitching.
You can catch me on my InfoWars interview next week. I'm going to be on Alex Jones' show talking with Kanye. And
Sean doesn't go by Sean anymore. He goes by Say. So it's that versus Save America Great Again Christmas.
Correct.
Saving Christmas. And that's going to be our Christmas episode. So tune in for that. Otherwise, you cannot follow us on Twitter anymore. Because
I'm still there, but like
we're loitering, but like
I'm not going to delete my account, but I'm certainly not actively going on there much.
Yeah, we're avoiding Twitter, and if you're there, just like watch out. Mainly,
what's the latest in the Twitter thing? Has Musk sold it again yet, or what's
no, he's still fucking it up.
Good.
It's super pretty. It's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is just falling apart, right?
Yeah. People are like, oh, they're losing their jobs who work there, and you're also like, yeah.
I mean, most people just
I
quit.
think they're just quitting.
Yeah, most people quit.
Yeah. So like, there's like other tech jobs you can get. Like they're good.
For
It's not like they're
also know,
on the streets now, folks.
They also know how to create a website identical to Twitter, but different, and just not invite back the fucking bigots and racists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess I'm not allowed back, huh, guys?
Well, definitely.
No, Sean, what are you talking about? You were doing a perfect what's the word I'm looking for? A perfect impersonation of sleigh bells. I don't care what the fucking other jacks of the world say.
Mm-hmm.
Super Christmas and not racist at all.
Mm-hmm.
Did that help? Am I back in your good books now?
I think anytime you use the word racist, it makes it wrong.
What if you're saying I don't like when people are racist?
I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
What do you mean, people? Okay.
I think we've run our course.
Yeah, the podcast is over. Let's sign out doing because it sounded pretty good when we did it earlier. Let's sign out with everyone doing their own version of the Superman intro.
I don't remember what it sounded like.
Ting 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 ting.